Namaste viewers, welcome to Avinash Bio category. In the previous video, in the previous class, we completed the concept, major three concepts, linkage, recombination and as well as a genetic mapping. So today let me consider another major concept in the same genetic chapter. So that is the sex determination, and in the previous class only I have announced this one. So one thing it is my request, and most of the subscribers who are watching the video thoroughly, so they are asking their doubts, so it has become a healthier discussion, and I want you people, you the students, please don't watch these videos just as usual. So if you are taking it seriously, means once comment your questions in the comment box downside, so let it be the healthier discussion. And one more thing, suppose if we analyze the previous NEET examinations, the weightage, so on which corners of this chapter they have been asked the questions. So if we consider that one, in 2018 onwards, if we consider, so not 2018 onwards, 2014-15 onwards, if we consider, in 2018 we have been asked a question from this sex determination concept. So at that time we have been asked questions from two corners of this chapter. One is inheritance theories of Mendel as well as the sex determination concept. So after that they asked the questions from a linkage recombination. So next one is chromosomal disorders. Let me come for those concepts in the next videos. So like that they concentrated on the few concepts of this chapter. So like that in 2018 5 questions asked, and out of 5 questions 3 questions have been asked from this sex determination concept. Today let me focus on that sex determination concept. If we consider that the sex determination, yes. So if we consider the sex determination concept here regarding the genetics, in your human reproduction chapter also, yes, in the human reproduction, reproductive health, in those units also, so there is a sex determination methodology is there depending on the chromosomal pattern, amniocentesis method. So there the baby sex is going to be determined on the basis of the chromosomal pattern obtained in the amniotic fluid. So there if we consider the chromosomal pattern in that liquid, so we can determine the sex. Sex determination means just whether the baby going to born, whether it is the male or female, that we need to determine. So that is the sex determination here. And if we consider the previous history, and one more thing I am telling you, so sex determination, since it is a vast concept from the competitive examination point of view, so I am going to make 2 videos on this. This is the part A on the sex determination. So tomorrow we will be having one more video on the same concept, part B. So here if we consider such general brief history of this sex determination. Sex determination concept, it was roughly given by the father of science, Aristotle. So not like that. So father of biology if we consider, Aristotle. So in BC time he gave roughly sex determination concept, but thing is he did not, at that moment we did not have any concept about the genes, chromosomes, so cell itself first of all. So at that time he determined the sex, particularly in the human beings majorly. So he determined the sex on the basis of body temperature of the individuals who are going to mate. Suppose, say for example, according to Aristotle, if male partner temperature is more at the time of mating compared to female partner, at that time the producing a baby becomes male. That is according to Aristotle, but it is not true. So but thing is, what Aristotle assumed at that moment, so little bit it holds good for reptiles. In reptiles we can determine the sex on the basis of temperature. And not only on the temperature, in some organisms we can determine the sex on the basis of hormonal variation, that is a testosterone, progesterone hormones. If the male hormone quantity more means it becomes the male progeny. If the female hormones the quantity is more in the body means it becomes a female during at the time of development. So compared to these two, the major sex determination is on the basis of genic or chromosomal pattern. So in that sense, we are having three types of sex determination. So the first one is temperature based sex determination, and the second one is hormonal based sex determination, and the third one is chromosomal based sex determination. But thing is, in this concept, in this chapter, majorly we will focus on a chromosomal based or genic based sex determination. Genic balance theory we are having. So let us see that one in the next video. Suppose if we consider these three roughly, if I consider temperature based sex determination, so already I told you it is not holds good for in all organisms. It will not hold good for in all organisms, but in case of reptiles it holds good little bit. Say for example, if I consider crocodile, in the crocodile reptiles, so if the temperature is high at the time of hatching of egg, when egg is going to hatch, at the time if the temperature is high means then the producing the baby becomes male. The producing progeny becomes male. Male crocodile progeny we are going to get. Suppose if the temperature is less at the time of hatching of egg, at that time the producing crocodile it becomes female. So this holds good according to Aristotle. So in case of reptile it is like that only. But thing is, in all the reptiles it is not in the same pattern. In some reptiles it may change here. Say for example, in case of turtle. In the case of turtle, so there the condition is the reverse. If the temperature is high, then it becomes female progeny. If the temperature is low, it becomes the male progeny. So that is in case of the turtles. Even though both are reptiles, but the conditions are reverse. And thing is, it is not applicable to all sex determination conditions. And second one, if we consider hormonal based sex determination. So as already we know, in the body, because of the hormonal variation, the sex of the organism is going to change. Even in the point of its behavior, I mean even in sometimes a body morphological point of view. So most of the times you can observe. So phenotypically, externally, morphologically he will be appearing as a male. And because of hormonal variations in the body, because of production of female hormones, so he started acting as a girl. He started acting as a female. That means when the hormonal variations will occur, so then the organism be going to become either male or female at the time of development. So usually it is observed in a lower organism. Say for example in insects. So in insects it holds good. And if we consider the major one, our concept, chromosomal based inheritance. And here, chromosomal based inheritance. So let me consider this one. Chromosomal based sex inheritance. If we consider this one, this concept here, so we have to go a little bit back here. In the year 1891, one major scientist, Hermann Henkin, The scientist name is Hermann Henking, and he was observing the spermatogenesis process. So spermatogenesis process he studied in the wasp insect. The insect name is wasp. So wasp means it is one related category in honeybees. So in the wasp he was studying the spermatogenesis process, and during at that time he was observing the inside the nucleus of those cells, that means germ cells. One thing he observed, some of the germ cells, that means some of the sperms received one extra body. So that extra body means extra chromosome, that is actually, and some of the sperms do not get that extra body. So he observed that interesting thing. Why? Because if you analyze that one, wasp it is having 12 chromosomes, or it might be having 11 chromosomes. Both are same here. Both conditions are also okay. So here 12 chromosomes are present in female wasp and 11 chromosomes are present in male wasp. That means male wasp will be having one chromosome less. What is that chromosome? That is sex chromosome. One sex chromosome is less in the wasp compared to the male. And because of that reason, if this male produces the sperms, and here one sperm will be having 6 chromosomes and one sperm will be having 5 chromosomes, then what it suggests? Here one chromosome is extra. That extra chromosome, he called that chromosome as X body. Why the letter suggests X here? Why he used the letter X? Means unknown. He doesn't know what is that thing at that moment. He called it as X body. Now we are calling it as X chromosome. And later we found another sex chromosome along with this X chromosome, which was very smaller compared to X chromosome. So we called that as Y chromosome. So X and Y, these are the two allosomes. Remaining all chromosomes are autosomes. So here, in that sense, he observed the X body. So now, depending on this investigation, we started the different types of sex determination on the basis of chromosomal conditions here. So in that sense, if we consider, we are having 4 types majorly, and actually we are having 5 types. One more type is, that is a special type. So let me discuss that one in the next video here. So here, which are those major 4 types means, the first one is XX XY type, the first one, and the second one is XX XO type, the second major one, and the third one is ZZ ZW type, and the fourth one is ZZ ZO type. So like that we are having 4 types of sex determinations here. And in a theory, so already you have been asked the question from this one. This is the major theory concept. So that is XXXY type. Along with that one, we are having other 3 types here. So what is that XXXY type? What are the actually X, Y, Z, W? So here, one thing. So here, if we consider, X, Y, Z and W, all of these are the allosomes. And already you know, allosomes means sex chromosomes. And usually we are having 2 types of chromosomes, autosomes and allosomes. Autosomes means these are the normal chromosomes present in almost all the individuals of that species or that population. All are common. But sex chromosomes, they may change, they may differ. So they are available. So in that sense, if we consider allosomes, on that pattern we are going to determine the sex here. And say for example, if I consider human being only. So let me write here. If we consider human being, male as well as female, and both are having, already we know, 46 number of chromosomes. Out of 46, 44 chromosomes of male, 44 chromosomes of female are exactly same. That means autosomes are same. But thing is, two allosomes are different. Two allosomes in case of male is XY, in case of female is XX. And here X is bigger chromosome compared to Y. Y is smaller chromosome here. And here this type of XX, XY type of sex determination, and it is usually observed. The best example is human. The best example is human. And one more we can write Drosophila also. Drosophila melanogaster. Already you know. Drosophila melanogaster, also called as fruit fly. This is the syndrome of genetics considered by the T.H. Morgan. So in the previous video only we discussed about that one. And Drosophila melanogaster also comes under the XXXY type sex determination. But in some conditions it is quite different. Why it is different? Let us consider that one. So let me focus, that is the human being majorly. And if we consider XXXO type of sex determination, for this one, many insects are here. Many insects are coming under this example. For example, cockroach, cricket, grasshopper, all these are coming under XXXO. If we consider this third one, ZW type. So for this one, the major examples are birds. Many birds come under this category. Say for example, chickens. So in a textbook also they have given the chickens example for this one. And if we consider this ZO type, so here again we can consider some insects. And if we along with that one we can consider some reptiles also here for this one. Reptiles also. Okay, now if I consider this condition only, XX and XY, and thing is I have not written autosomes here, right? Just I am focusing allosomes only. That means X chromosomes only. Suppose, so here this is the female and this is the male here. If the female produces egg, then if female produces egg means both the eggs, that means however number of eggs are produced, all the eggs will be having just only one option, that is X chromosome. But if the male produces a sperm, here if the male produces sperm, one sperm will be having X chromosome, one sperm will be having Y chromosome. That means two options are present here. So what it suggests here, 100% all eggs will be having X chromosome, that is compulsory. But here the chances are 50-50 percentage. 50% of sperms will be having X chromosome and 50% of sperms will be having Y chromosome. Say for example, now only one egg is produced. I am talking about human beings right now. So human beings monthly at menstrual cycle they are going to produce just only one egg from one ovary. Now the egg, of course it must be having the X chromosome only. If this egg get fertilized by this sperm, XX, it becomes again female. Suppose if this egg got fertilized by this sperm, X and Y, it becomes the male here. That means sex of the baby, that means male and female, that the sex of the baby, it is determined by the father condition. That means whether the father is donating the sperm having X chromosome or sperm having Y chromosome, that to determine the sex of the baby here. And one more thing, here female produces only one type of egg having X chromosome, but father produces, that means male produces two types of sperms, 50% with one type of chromosome and 50% of X with another type of chromosome. And because of that reason we will consider this condition as male heterogamy. So this condition, it is referred as male heterogamy. Hetero means different, gamy or gamete means gametes are different. That means producing gametes are different. Here producing gametes are all are same. So in that sense, if we consider the second one also, XXXO type, this is also male heterogamety. How means, see here, female it is having 2 X chromosome, but male it is having just 1 X chromosome, no Y chromosome. So what it suggests, here Y chromosome is not there, just only 1 X chromosome is there, and because of that reason, here male partner is having 1 chromosome less compared to female partner, or female partner is having 1 chromosome extra compared to male partner, as in case of the wasp. So here female is having 12 chromosome and a male is having 11 chromosome. That means female is having 1 extra chromosome, or male is having 1 less chromosome. So if chromosome is less, if the chromosome is absent, means we will designate that one by O or 0 sometimes. O, what it suggests, O means it is not a chromosome, that is an empty space. There is no other sex chromosome, there is no pair. So in case of insect, in majority of insect, and in case of the human beings, we follow this one, that is a male heterogamety here. And if we consider these two, that is a female heterogamety condition here. So these two are example for female heterogamety condition. Say, let me write that one. ZW. The question will be arised. What is that Z? What is that W? Starting only I told you, the unknown factor which is passing to some gametes, which is not passing to the some gametes, that a nuclear structure referred as X body by the Hermann Henking. And now we are referring as X chromosome, that is actually chromosome. We are giving the name as X chromosome. Then later another chromosome we called it as a Y chromosome, XY. These are also same chromosome, ZW. These are also same chromosome. But thing is, here condition is reverse. Here male heterogamety, there female heterogamety condition is present. So because of that reason, in order to avoid the confusion, we are giving different letters for them. ZZ, ZW. Those are also same allosomes. Right? Now here, if we consider, here thing is, ZZ, ZZ. If both the allosomes are same, means this is a male actually, in case of that sex determination, and here this is actually female. Now if I write this one, here the male produces sperms, and here both the sperms are having ZZ sex chromosomes, and here the female produces 2 types of eggs, one with a Z chromosome, another with a W chromosome. That means both the allosomes are different there. So here all the sperms produced here 100% are same, but here the producing sperms are 50-50%. 50% sperms are having Z allosome, 50% of sperms are having W allosome. And in some cases, if I consider this one, ZZ, ZO type, so already you know, if I compare the same thing there, O stands for here that chromosome is absent. So in that sense, here this side is male and this side is female. Now female producing 1 egg with Z chromosome, 1 egg without Z chromosome, without a W chromosome, or no sex chromosome. And here the male side, as it is producing the sperms, all the sperms with the Z chromosome. So what it suggests, 3 and 4, what these two are going to suggest means, so here female in both the cases, female producing 2 types of eggs, and because of that reason, we will consider this condition as female heterogamety. So consider this one. This is the major one. So this is the female heterogamety condition. Yes, one is male, another one is female heterogamety condition. Now, one more thing. Let me consider this one. Where is that one? Okay, XXXO condition if I consider. XX and XO condition. So this is the female, and this is the male side here. Now the female producing only one type of egg, and that egg will be having only X chromosome. And now the male producing two types of sperms, one sperm with X chromosome and one sperm with O chromosome. O means no chromosome there. Suppose if this sperm combines with this sperm, then it becomes XX. XX means it is female. Suppose, if this gamete combines with this gamete, that means the gamete that side which is not having any sex chromosome, then it becomes XO. Then the condition is male. So this is the normal case. But one thing we can consider here, sometimes here these two allosomes what are there in the pair, homologous pair, they will not separate at the time of gamete formation. So because of, we will call it as disjunction of chromosomes, we will call that term as. Suppose if the both allosomes are not separated, or else here, if the both allosomes are not separated, as it is both allosomes will come into one egg or one gamete. That is, let us consider XX this side. Now this is the normal condition, X here. Then here XX and this side X. If such kind of abnormal gamete and normal gamete combined means, we will get the abnormal condition. That means three allosomes will be present. So that condition usually we will refer it as a trisomy condition. So already you are having such kind of an example. Say for example, in a Klinefelter syndrome, already you are having XXY. That condition already you are having. So trisomy condition may arise, or sometimes a monosomy condition may arise. Monosomy means one chromosome will be less. So usually there should be two chromosomes in one pair after the fusion of gametes. Sometimes one chromosome may become extra, sometimes one chromosome may become less. So extra or less conditions are usually referred to as aneuploidy condition. So in the aneuploidy condition, usually we will be having one chromosome extra. Extra means trisomy. One chromosome less means we will refer it as monosomy. So monosomy, trisomy, these are the abnormal conditions. Apart from that, so this is the pattern how we can determine the sex on the basis of the chromosomal conditions here. And in that sense, if you consider, and already I told you, here we have not considered that Drosophila melanogaster. Of course, sometimes we will write a Drosophila melanogaster sex determination type is XXXY, but it is little bit different. So there is one beautiful theory. So that is a genic balance theory. So on that theory basis, how we can predict the sex of the Drosophila. Next video, in the next class, in the part B, let us focus on the sex determination in a Drosophila, how exactly it is done by using the genic balance theory, and also the special type of sex determination in honeybees. Let us consider these two. So in examination point of view, those two are at most important. So this is the brief introduction for sex determination types. So in the next video, let me consider those two sex determination special categories. And one more thing, so I am requesting you, be in touch with the concept. In the next video, while you are getting that next video, you be prepared with the theory aspect of that particular concept. I hope you are getting this one. Thank you.